Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Sir Cypher here. Let's play Wargame Airland Battle. And we are on day 3 of the Fortress Oslo campaign. We've trapped the packed forces, mostly Russian, into a little pocket there. And we're going to be finishing them off. Now, I could sort of just drive straight for Stockholm, but I don't know what's over here. You can only see units and zones that you're right next to. So I'd rather just finish these guys off. We have plenty of time. It's only been 2 days. And we have up to 12 days to complete it. We're automatically going to have to finish this fight here with Motor Shoots in Regiment 9. And I'm going to blow a commando raid here on this enemy unit because I don't want it to get away from the 82nd Airborne. Alright then. So we have to finish off here. Motor Shoots in Regiment 9. So you see here, they actually are in the situation even before. They don't have a command zone, which is kind of interesting. So we are at a bit of an advantage there. But that's going to mean they're kind of desperate, so we have to be a little bit more, I would say, cautious than usual. Well, anyway, I'm going to pause the game while I set it up. Alright, so let's do this. Yep. Now, one annoying thing sometimes about infantry is normally if they're close enough to a house, they'll just get right in it as soon as they disembark, but that doesn't always happen. Sometimes they're quite lazy about getting in the houses.
The only good enemy is a dead one.
Get all these guys in here.
Okay, what's the situation?
Because the enemy knows essentially that they have to get a deployment zone. Something I'm getting shot at from some sort of nonsense. What's shooting at me here? Oh, they killed one of my Milan teams. That is a tragedy. Looks like they have a giant sort of armored convoy coming out over here. But nothing I think that I need to be terribly worried about. Get some Spartans to scout up there. Maybe get a Challenger also. Actually, I'll get a grab a Striker. Maybe a Helo as well. Should probably get a Helo over here. So yeah, for whatever reason, I'm not sure if it's on purpose or not, but the AA seems to get significantly better in sort of desperate situations like this. So I'm always kind of... you see here the Striker, it's... I was talking about different kinds of missiles. This one is actually manual command line of sight, which is the worst kind. Partially why it has such low accuracy. So it actually means that the guy has to drive the little missile, like a little RC car or something, towards the enemy. That does not obviously lend itself to stellar accuracy. Here's two of them. Okay, that's pretty good shots right there. Yeah, again, the biggest thing is we just don't want them to break through. And we don't want to take too many casualties for this British unit because this is probably going to be end up being our most powerful force that we might have to assault Stockholm with. Because we do have, obviously, there are other mechanized formations, but Frickin' rockets. But they can only spawn at the bottom of the map there, where this unit originally spawned in southern Denmark. And so it just takes too long for them to get into the action. So we have some Russian infantry fighting vehicles, BMP-2s. These are actually pretty dangerous. They have Conqueror's missiles. My striker shooting missiles. Oh, that's good. Good shot there. But my challengers are here in this forest, fighting to good effect. Somebody's shooting rockets at my supply car. So you can see here, these T-55s are outranged by quite a bit by my challengers. And even once they get into range, there's no way they can penetrate the frontal armor of these challengers at maximum distance. So I'm going to call in some Harriers here to kill some of this infantry and also to kill some of these tanks, hopefully. They have high explosive bombs, so they're pretty good for destroying infantry. Not super good at destroying tanks, but they do a decent job softening them up. More rockets coming in. Man, that's rockets are having really good luck with my strikers. It's pretty annoying. I haven't really been looking over here, but looks like I can take out that enemy Strela with a striker, and then maybe move in here with a pair of chieftains. One thing that's annoying sometimes is it's not always clear. It's not always clear. Aerial corridor lost. Oh, did my unit break or something from oh, the rocket fire? It's not always clear how far you have to drive out of the forest to gain line of sight. Oh, so that was good. I'm not actually sure if the enemy has 750 points of units for us to kill. So we might have to get a little bit aggressive here. Man, these freaking... Oh my god, these rocket batteries. I feel like I'm playing a game, a multiplayer game when people just spawn rockets. Rockets by themselves don't really do anything. Yeah, they managed to kill my... They managed to kill 2 of my strikers, but that's pretty rare. Normally that wouldn't happen. Oh, I never actually unloaded these guys. I keep on losing my air corridor because if units lose enough morale, you lose control of them for a while, and they sort of rout. And this guy's in this flaming forest, so he keeps freaking out. He needs to calm down. He's being ridiculous. There comes a flak truck. Nice shot from the swing fire. Give that guy a medal. Send these challengers over here to try and snipe this annoying BMPT, or not BMPT, rocket battery. We do have an enemy recon helicopter here, but that's not a super big threat. And I think I can just fast move at this point. I don't think there's anything here that's going to really slow me down too much. Now, you might be wondering why is Challenger's tanks better than the other tanks I have. It's mainly because the Challenger was the first tank that to use the Choblum armor, which is now kind of more famously used on the Challenger 2 and also on the M1 Abrams, which is a composite armor. So it has a mix of different materials like ceramics and different things. And it uses that to gain a lot more armor protection than it would otherwise be able to. The Chieftain Mark 10s, I believe, just have standard armors, so they're a lot less resistant to damage. They have a pretty similar gun though, so I think the Challenger's gun has a little bit more AP just because it has more effective armor-piercing rounds. So that was it. We took them out. Our biggest loss was a couple of strikers and a Milan team from those incessant rocket barrages, but we did okay. So we destroyed that regiment with the French Marines. We destroyed this regiment. And now we have to fight the 82nd Airborne against the 336th Naval Brigade. Now the 82nd, obviously as you saw in that other matchup, basically only has infantry. So this is going to be a little challenging. But we do have some advantages now because we have an air corridor. So that should help us out quite a bit. Alright, so step one is we need to try and get all these vehicles into position here. Got to get all of our infantry out of here. And I got to figure out a safe place to put these trucks. I guess I'll try and put them I'll put them on this island. It will be Truck Island. Because we obviously don't want to lose all of our expensive, well, it's not expensive infantry, but all of our infantry. Because somebody killed all their trucks. That would be quite disconcerting. So we'll get all these guys out here. Get these guys out. Again, I'll move them to Truck Island. Hopefully the enemy won't find them. This isn't really an issue in most games because they're only worth 1 point. So it's fine if they die. But anyway, so I'm going to kind of show off what the Wild Weasels do. These are going to be our primary SEAD fighters for this American deck. America actually has several sort of SEAD fighters. This stands for Suppression of Enemy Air Defense. And they're basically fighters planes whose job it is to neutralize enemy AA. And it's a pretty dangerous job. It's a pretty dangerous job in this game, and it's a pretty dangerous job in real life because obviously it's like you're going against something that's job is to shoot you down. So you kind of have to be careful. Now, what happens when you get Wild Weasels on the field is they wait for enemy radar-guided AA to lock onto them. And so if you fly close enough, you can generally see any radar-guided AA on the map. It'll show up. And when you see it, like right here, they will shoot missiles at them. And generally take them out. This is a little bit easier because it's gun AA, so the gun AA has less of a range, so the Wild Weasel has plenty of time to sort of prepare its little attack run here. But it can work for any kind of AA. Let's see here. Uh-oh. So now we have enemy fighters coming to mess with our Wild Weasel. So I'm going to evac that, and I'm also going to call in my Eagles, my F-15s, to try and kill this MiG. Now the enemy MiG might evac before my F-15s can get there. Looks like they will. Oh no, I got it. So yeah, that's kind of how it works with Wild Weasels. You find the enemy air defense, you wait for it to lock onto you, and then you shoot an anti-radar missile back at it. Obviously, it's not always that easy in real life and in this game, but that's the sort of general idea. Now we're going to try and fight this match as much as we can with our air power and just use our ground forces to sort of hold the line because our ground forces aren't that good. So, and it's pretty hard to attack with infantry in this game unless they have some sort of combat transport, for lack of a better word. Obviously trucks, they just basically die anytime anything looks at them. So they're not really a good idea for actually driving infantry into combat. There are obviously infantry fighting vehicles. You've seen lots of BMPs from our Soviet friends. But we don't have anything like that. So now we have some enemy helicopters coming in here. And this is kind of a poor idea. But I'm actually going to call in my... I'm actually going to call in my wild weasels to kill that thing. But I called in my F-15s to try and chase off those helicopters, which you actually generally don't want to do. It's actually generally better to... It's actually generally better to try and kill helicopters with other means. Oh no, my 15 is almost dead. No, don't let that MiG shoot another missile. Get him, wild weasels. Yes. No, my poor rifles. Run away. Now, it's sort of interesting actually that you can use wild weasels like I did there to shoot down enemy planes, because wild weasels are actually not dedicated ATGM planes. I mean, they are, but they're normal. They were air superiority fighters, the F-4 Phantom, that is modified to sort of act in a wild weasel role. So they still carry actually infrared missiles, which they can use to, in a pinch, engage the enemy. America does have more dedicated SEAD planes that are a little bit better at shooting at enemy AA, especially like really high-powered Soviet AA. But that's all they can do. They can't dogfight. They can't do anything cool, like you just saw. Let's see here. Maybe I need to get some scout vehicles up here. So we'll move these trucks to Truck Island. Now the other two planes I have at my disposal are the F-16 Fighting Falcon, which is like a light bomber that drops cluster bombs. It also has infrared missiles, so it can defend itself. And the F-117 Nighthawk, which is the stealth, which is the stealth light bomber. Yeah, so that's what we got here. So we see it looks like we have like a little bit of an enemy push here. I'm actually gonna call in my this yak is dead. Bam! Get him F-15. Get him F-15. And I'm actually gonna call in my cluster bomber, the Fighting Falcon, on these BTRs. So you can see here it drops its cluster bombs. They go poof, and then they explode. And it looks like I didn't kill that many of them, but I forced a lot of them to dismount. And then I'll back that up. You jerk, MiG. Get out of here. I'll back that up by having my Nighthawk drop the paveway on it, which is a really big laser-guided bomb there. And you see it just killed a whole bunch of them. Oh my goodness. So many rockets. So, it looks like maybe the enemy's trying to flank me or something. Not really sure. I'm going to actually call in another, oopsies, wrong one, F-15 Eagle. To kill all these freaking yaks and stuff that are, well, it looks like the Stingers did a decent job of it. So I guess I'll have it chase around the helicopters, because it's already here at this point. I can have the F-16 if I can drop cluster bombs, though, on these light tanks. These PT-76. These are Soviet amphibious tanks. I also call in another Wild Weasel to just chase these helicopters around. Now, I didn't actually see where that artillery came from. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, no, run away. No! That jerk. My F-15 needs to go back to pilot school. He got shot down by a fighter bomber there. This is actually a pretty interesting fight. Lots of planes on both sides just chasing each other all around the map. This Su-25T is trying to get away, but I don't think he's going to get away. Not if my... no, he's going to get away. No.
Where do you need us, sir?
So I'll have it drop... this thing drop some bombs on that. And I might as well just make like a strafing attack on this helicopter.
Let's rock and roll. Sky is ours. Where do you need us, sir?
My Wild Weasel just flying back and forth, shooting guns at this enemy. Now, it looks like we have a kind of big assault here. I'm actually just not going to screw around. I'm going to have my Nighthawk come in and drop a giant paveway on them. Which should put quite a dampener on their plans here. So I think they're in this town now. So we'll drop the giant... Oh, no, I missed them. Guess we can have the F-16 come in and drop some cluster bombs. Here, my Sheraton's just shooting this thing with its machine gun. I don't even know what kind of machine gun it has. Oh, it's got a Browning. That's pretty good. Well, it looks like that cluster bomb did something. Because a lot of things just died. I did lose a F-15 though, which is kind of sad. To a Soviet attack plane, ground attack plane, nonetheless, which is kind of embarrassing. But overall, I think we won the air war quite handily. So that's good. So, and then we managed to destroy that unit with our airborne. This other unit up here gets destroyed by our French Marines. And then we see here, Operation Thanksgiving. The Turkish Army and the U.S. Navy launched a massive amphibious invasion of the Crimea. One thing that I think is kind of interesting about these messages is they're kind of giving you hints about where this game is going to go in the future. So the first game was just in Europe. Was just in like, you know, France, Germany, the Fulda Gap, right there. The second game is is in Northern Europe, so Denmark, Sweden, Finland, etc. So Norway, and then the next expansion is going to be Red Dragon. So that's going to be in Asia. So you saw the message earlier about should we send troops to North Korea? Should we not? Well, we're going to be probably dealing with North Korea in the next expansion. And this one's in the Crimea, so there's probably going to be another expansion eventually dealing with the sort of Middle East area and Crimea, Baltic Sea, all of that. So it'll probably be Israel, Lebanon, Syria, Iran, Iraq, all of that fun stuff. So there's that. Now, submarine threat. We could have used our special ability to sort of like have a submarine warfare, but we didn't. So here is the question for this turn. Speaking of the invasion in Turkey, we have to decide whether we're going to detach our naval units to support them, or we are going to keep them. Now, if we detach them, it means that We can't use the naval support fire, which I think I've used so far in this campaign. And also, the Turks have the advantage, which I'm not actually sure what that does mechanically. If we don't send them, then we lose 20 political points. So we have to make that decision. So please vote in the thread what you think we should do. And yep. So thank you for watching, and have a nice day.